Hello, and welcome to the Mindfulness Movement. My name is Tara, and I am the founder and owner of this little bitty small business that I started just about a year ago, exactly this month. And I have learned and grown so much in the past year, and I am here to help share my journey, advice, wisdom, inspiration, support, cheerleadership, everything that you need to crush and grow your own little bitty small business too. I got a new little toy, and that is the Osmo Pocket 3, I believe that's what it's called, by DJI, as well as the microphone to match, because I always run out of storage on my phone, and I can never share long-form content, but I have so much to tell you, and I am so happy that I invested in this, because now I can. So welcome. And this is the first of many videos that I am going to utilize to share what I teach, what I do to prepare, and so much more behind the scenes content at what happens here at the Mindfulness Movement, and how I'm able to help support holistic health and well-being for kids, families, and adults in my community. So thanks for coming along. Today I'm focusing on my global trek because it's literally what's sitting here on my desk that I have not yet cleaned up, and I need to. And once I do this video, this is an invitation to close that chapter and move forward on something else that I can tell you about, but I can also clean and declutter my office, to be honest. What happened in the global trek? This class was 1 hour, and it was sponsored by a local library. I was so excited to get this gig because I've worked with local libraries before, but never in my actual neighborhood where I live. So this was a big score for me. I was excited to go 12 minutes away versus 20 to 30 minutes for an event. If you know, you know. I did not come up with this theme. It was actually asked of me by the library itself because their summer reading program was titled Global Trek, and that's what their kids were focused on all summer to complete their challenges. I loved this theme though, and that's why I wanted to share it with you. I think it fits so well with yoga and mindfulness, and this age group ate it up. This age that they requested it for was preschool, so I had preschoolers and their parents here for this class. We went on an adventure together, and all of the things that you're going to hear that I did and provided, I came up with based on their ask of the global trek theme. I decided to order yoga passports. I can provide you the link if you're interested in that. Just leave a comment below. I'd be happy to send it to you. It actually ended up coming with stickers, which I did not utilize for this session, but I will definitely in the future because how fun. They were empty, of course. They were just like notebooks, but I had this idea in my head to make like a stamp for each place that we would visit on our global trek adventure. So I've sort of started to clean these up. These are the ones that I cut out and haven't used yet. These are the ones that still need to be cut up. If you do purchase my yoga cards for Global Trek and you want these, you can always send me a little email, or I'll try to remember to just send that as a little freebie to you because it worked really, really well. So each country we visited had a stamp. I cut these out and put them inside of the passport. Because I don't have one next to me right now, I'm going to insert a photo right here. I also, of course, created a deck of yoga cards to go along with this adventure because it's definitely worth repeating, and I wanted to give you something that you can utilize too. So what I did to set up for this class was underneath each one of the yoga mats, I placed a yoga card. This has become my tried and true bread and butter way of engaging family yoga classes in my sessions. The reason being is people love surprises. Can I get an amen? La boo-boos, right? The world has been taken by storm by surprise boxes and surprise merchandise and toys and all of these things. So why would we not use that little psychology hack to really engage our students and families? Each card was placed strategically underneath a yoga mat in order of events that this class was going to unfold. Think of this like, as an adult yoga teacher, your sequence of your class. We're doing that using the cards because, let's be real, kids need more than just your voice and your body to really engage them in a long-form class like this. 45 minutes is a long time, an hour is a really long time, right, for this age group. So I lied. This was 45 minutes. I'm thinking about it now. It was not an hour. It was 45 minutes for the physical class. If you are a yoga teacher, you know that it does not take 45 minutes to do this. You need to set up, you need to pack your car, you need to load your supplies, you need to set up the contract, you need to talk back and forth with the vendor, yada, yada, yada. But in person for the children, it was 45 minutes. So I kicked it off, of course, by introducing myself and my services, explaining the journey we were about to embark on, and I always include a PSA before I start my class, especially when working with families, that this is geared towards children, so it moves quickly. And that if you are an adult who wants to take your time, who doesn't want to do every single yoga pose, that is a-okay. You can also be there as just a support, as a cheerleader to your child. You can do as much or as little as the class as you want to, but you're not required to move at the speed that we are moving the children along. This is important because many adults are dealing with injuries, they are different age than their child, of course, and they also might just be having a long day and want to relax and enjoy your service versus being forced to do something that maybe their body isn't ready for or interested in. All fine, right? We want to make the space ready and safe for everybody. So with that PSA in mind, I begin the class by saying that we're embarking on an adventure, right? A global trek. We're going all around the world. And when we take a trip, the first thing we need to do is what? Pack our bags, right? So the first card is pack your bag. Underneath the mat, the child revealed the card, and this card told us that we were going to practice chair pose while we packed our bag. So I got my students into chair pose, of course, and then I went around the room and asked, what should we pack for our global trek adventure? This is a great way to get your students excited about their experience and really involve them on the story and the adventure you're about to embark on. So you might hear something silly like fruit snacks, I don't know. You get to really make this immersive and exciting for kids, and it makes families giggle at the responses that their own children give, and it just makes things really fun and inviting. So, chair pose, we packed our bags. Then, I turned on the song Go Plane Go by Kira Wiley. I think I'm saying her name right. Love her. Love her music. I say this every single time I talk to you guys. Why I love her music is it's not annoying. I'm gonna say that again. It's not annoying. When you teach children, you will know that there are many annoying songs that you cannot listen to more than once. And we're going to listen to this song a lot in this class. So I love her music because it's actually really soothing. It's not annoying. It's not so loud it's going to hurt your ears. But it also has these little moments when you listen to the yoga versions of her song where you can actually hear kids responding to certain things she says in the background, which I think is so genius for working in groups like this, because it makes kids know that like it's supposed to be inviting. You're supposed to call out. You're supposed to answer. You're supposed to get up and move and groove, which is different than what a lot of kids are experiencing right now inside of classrooms. This is their invitation to get involved, shout it out. You don't have to raise your hand, right? We're here to move and groove and have fun. So it has a different dynamic than a typical classroom setting. Love Kira Wiley. Shout out, girl. Keep making music. I absolutely love it. I probably am your number one streamer, whatever you want to call it. All those numbers that you're gaining on your Spotify are from me. Just kidding. I'm sure you have lots of fans. We fly in Go Plane Go in airplane pose, of course, and this gives students a little bit of a movement break. They're hearing the music, they're getting excited about making these noises with their mouth like a plane flying. There's actually a moment where you do a train seated forward fold. It's genius. It's so good, and that provides a little bit of routine and consistency in between the flow of poses we're learning. Are you following me? Amazing. So then we freeze in this song. We get out of the plane, we grab our bags, right? And we enter a new world wherever we have transformed our adventure to. So the next card would be revealed. I would point to that student. I don't have my cards in order right now, but let's just say that it was Antarctica. Some of these cards are poses. A couple of them are movement breaks that have poses in them, right? So this is penguin waddle or penguin parade. It's mountain pose, but with a penguin hand. My dance teacher called these hands painful penguin. We're not going to use that in yoga, but it's something that stuck with me. So it's a movement break, right? And I actually played a little penguin song that I found that was really cute. So they had a little time to practice waddling around with their friends. There was a moment where you could like high five another penguin, make it silly, make it playful, right? Each one of these cards also has a mindful moment. You can take them or leave them. I always provide more than you really need because depending on the energy of the group, you get to decide what works best for them. So for the mindful moment, this one says chilly breath. Take a deep breath in. Blow out like you're fogging up an icy window. Slow, cold breaths. I love that one. Take them or leave them, right? Depending on how long your class is. If it's an hour, you want to probably use those. If it's just 45 minutes and you've got a lot of little kids who are ready to wiggle and waddle, maybe you leave it. It really depends. Or maybe you put it in as you teach the waddles. You're also doing the breaths, right? My resources are made as a vessel. Just like when you teach a class, you're offering advice, wisdom, suggestions, but you as the teacher use them in ways that make sense for you. That's the whole point. In my coaching programs, that's where I get to sit with you one-to-one and we could talk about what works best for you. For example, one of my coaching students, she doesn't like to use music. To me, I'm like, I could never teach a class without music. That does not mean that my way is better or right. It's just what works for me. I was a competitive and professional dancer my whole life. Music guides me, it moves me, it makes me feel comfortable. It helps me teach at my highest potential. It's just what I'm used to and what I'm good at. For her, she doesn't like it. It gives her anxiety. It makes her stressed out. Then don't use music. You don't need it to have a great class. So much like as a teacher of yoga, I am a teacher of teaching yoga. So this is a vessel. You can take or leave my advice, whatever way works best for you. So then after that place, we opened up our passports and I came around and gave each student a stamp. If you are teaching this without other adults in the room, like to just kids, this is the perfect way to reset the room. This is your time to go around and make sure you have all of their attention and you also have them following the class. If you have a kid who's off their mat at this time, this is your time to say, I'm looking for a friend who's sitting crisscross yoga sauce on their mat with their passport open to receive their stamp. This will work wonders. This will get the children from wherever they are in the room, not listening, not paying attention, back to their mat, ready to receive their stamp because you have that incentive and it's positive reinforcement, which we want to do here at the Mindfulness Movement. That is my hack for the day. I go around, I give the stamps. This is also an invitation to deepen the learning even further by asking questions to students who maybe need a little more challenge than others. I could say, could you point to what did we just talk about? Antarctica? Yeah. Could you point to the Antarctica stamp for me? It looked like this. If they're having trouble finding it, you can offer a little tip. The Antarctica stamp has an animal on it. What animal do you see on it? Or, the Antarctica stamp is the color blue. These are little ways that you can give hints for kids who might still be struggling and not able to find it, but you also help that whole class take something out of it and learn. These are just little teacher hacks I like to slip in for you, and I'm going to do this a lot on these videos so that you can get a well-rounded understanding of how teaching kids yoga works effectively, efficiently, and actually is fun. That's the key. We want it to be fun, right? Yes. Okay. So we flew to the next place. We unveiled the next card. We did the pose or the breath or the exercise. How fun is that one? I actually did have one student who was scared when we did this one because I played the sound of a lion roaring. That's something to be conscious of too. As a teacher, know your audience. Do you think I kept playing the music? Yes or no? No, we turned it off, right? Because this lion sound was scary for her, but we can make it with our breath instead. I'm not going to do it because it looks so silly and I don't need that on the internet of me. So after we got all of our stamps, the last and final card is my absolute favorite. Got it. It was this card. This card is the best one to end with because we've done all these amazing poses and we've learned all these new skills in mindfulness, and on this card we get to play a game, which is my favorite game, and if you follow me and you know that I play this game all the time, and you should too because it's really easy to teach and most people already know how to play it. That is musical mats. It's just like musical chairs, only with mats, and you can play this in a million zillion other ways. You can play this with teenagers, you can play this with preschoolers, you can play this with families, you can play this with everyone, and that's why I love it. So, when the music starts, you dance around the mats. When the music stops, you freeze in a yoga pose. I love the variation of putting the cards in front of the mat. If you're working with a new group who might be nervous, they might not know poses yet, they can do the mat. They can mirror the pose in front of them. You'll find that once you work with kids regularly, they don't want the cards. They want to make up their own poses, and we love that. That means they're growing and learning and feeling confident in themselves to come up with their own poses that way. So that's amazing when that happens. It's a little yoga magic. But when the music stops, you're frozen in that pose. I like adding a prop sometimes to add some variety to this experience. So in this case, I brought scarves and egg shakers. How fun, right? I played mariachi music because the place we visited was, that's right, Mexico. So it just became an absolute party in the yoga room, and parents got in on this and we all had so much fun. After this, we have high energy. Here's a little trivia question for you. Should we end this class, this yoga and mindfulness class, at high energy? No, it's a yoga class. We didn't come to have our kids leave like a bursting ball of fire, although that's a beautiful thing. So we want to bring that energy down. And we're probably feeling kind of tired, right? We just did a lot of poses. We just did a lot of flying, balancing. We're in preschool. We're kind of tired. And we're parents and we've been working all day and, we're tired too. So the final card is actually Sleeping Under the Stars. We're going back to Kira Wiley because she's my girl and she makes that music that isn't annoying. This song is called Great Big Starry Sky. I love this song. I don't know if I can choose a favorite, but it's definitely top 3. I love this one because you are doing Shavasana in this song. I love to use her music because, especially when I was teaching 8 classes a day, 25 kids at a time, super exhausting, I was able to utilize that time to preserve my voice because I was running very thin on the amount of voice that I had left at that point in the day. And throughout the day, I needed to ebb and flow my energy so that I could preserve it and actually give something to every age that I was working with. So her music, thank you, saved me and allowed me to do all the things I needed to do as I teach. For me as a dancer, it's easiest to have music in the background, but this music isn't distracting. Instead, I'll put on the yoga version of the song and have her cue the poses. I'm able to perform them, offer up my adjustments around the room, and then of course when working with kids, we have that added challenge of redirecting. Whew, the biggest challenge ever. With adults, we're not having to do much of that, hopefully, if we have a good community of people who are there for the right reason. However, with kids, you are going to have to deal with this. It's just part of it, and it's really hard, and I don't want to not mention that part. So having her already guiding it, you're able to stand in mountain pose and redirect and call out students who are doing the right thing. Again, positive reinforcement is essential with teaching kids mindfully. So an example of this would be we're standing in mountain. I noticed that Henry is not doing mountain pose, so I look at Linnea instead across the room who is doing it beautifully, and I say, "Oh, beautiful, Linnea. Look at Linnea standing in mountain pose. Can you stand in mountain pose, Henry? Oh, there it is. Yes, Henry. Henry's standing in mountain pose." This is how to teach effectively, how to not make people feel called out, excluded, yelled at. This is how we teach mindfully. This is how we make class fun, and we invite the students to come in versus scold them into what we expect them to do. I hope this helps. I hope this makes sense. This helped us end in a calm, relaxing way in Shavasana. These cards are such a magical way to keep class flowing, to teach new things, for you as an instructor to have a little bit of help when you're trying to think about what comes next, right? You're not having to memorize a new sequence every single time you teach. These are just the ways that I have learned to best lead a group for myself, and I think that if I know you well enough, they will help you too. So these cards are available now on my shop if you're interested. If you do get those, be sure to either send me a DM on Instagram, or I'll try to remember to send you the freebie of these stamps. I can also send you the links to the yoga passport. And I didn't even mention the giveaway that I gave. These are stress balls, they're globes. What a fun way to end class with a little treat that isn't candy. We love that. Very mindful, very demure. This is also the perfect way to sneak your business card in, because as a small business owner or a teacher, you want to continue doing this work. That's the whole point. We want to reach more families, so we don't want them to just walk out the door and have no idea how to find you, because this was offered through a third party, right? The library. How do they find you? Now they have no reason not to. Thank you so much for tuning in. I can't wait to share more behind the scenes office chats on all the amazing yoga and mindfulness programming that has passed and also that is to come. This has been the coolest year of my entire life. Also the hardest. Also the most interesting. So thanks for being along on this journey. If you just got here, welcome.